Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play for Farming Simulator 22 as we continue our start from scratch run here on Elmcreek. And a little bit of good news, bad news. The good news is that one field, field 71, had enough hay on it to finish both contracts, 71 and 14, with a little bit extra left over, actually. We actually got about $1,400 worth of hay sold off as well. So on top of that, the bad news is that if I come back over here to field 14, which is right here, as you can see, I brought both balers over here because I was trying to see if I could get them to, one of them to work. I was trying to get the big one to work first. And then it said, hey, you can't use this without a contract going. I was like, okay, so let me try. I'll just use the small one. Fine, whatever. And if I come over here and I turn this on, physical is tool is reserved for contract work, which tells me that because the contract is finished, I cannot actually pick up the hay over here. So that's a lot of hay that I could have just sold straight up, for just pure profit, which is a bit unfortunate. I mean, we still did better with these two contracts than if we hadn't picked them up at all, but it is a bit disappointing to lose that much money on the contract. So we're going to go ahead and turn these both in and get us a good chunk of money. We're up to $40,000. So I would say that those were worth it. In fact, if we go look at our dollars out for the day, we've made $27,000 today. In fact, if we combine today and yesterday we actually bought some equipment, bought $26,000 worth of equipment. Between today and yesterday combined, we're still up, $3,000. So, and that's with taking some contracts yesterday that probably weren't worth it as much. So I think today was a really good day for us. I'm pretty happy with that. A little disappointed that we didn't get the extra money there, but what you gonna do? Since it's really, really dark, I wanted to go ahead and go over that because I wanted to get into that before we went to December and it got winter and all that stuff. And I didn't know what that was going to do with the contracts. But I am going to go ahead and probably fast forward here in just a minute. I do want to check this other contract. How is the plowing going? We're still only 64%. I don't know if the snow will affect the plowing contract or not. I hope not. But I'd like to kind of just get to the next day, get to daylight so we can kind of keep going on some stuff. So I will be back here in just a bit for daylight of December. All right, we are back. It is now December, and we just finished this contract over here. Thankfully, I didn't have to do the whole field as expected. I will say this particular plow did go a bit slower than the one with the last field, and I know that because I've signed up another contract with the plow that we used on that last field before that one, and this one is going a lot faster. Definitely quite a bit wider, and yeah, I mean, it's just been going much better overall. So hopefully that one ends up being a pretty good one for us. But we're going to go ahead and turn this one in, collect our money for this. We're over 40K. I mean, we're there, but definitely, it takes a lot of money to run the contracts on these automated and stuff. But we're getting there. We're holding on to some money. We're doing all right. Actually, 40K is how much we had before I had to pay all the loans and stuff like that from the new day, the new month. So getting back above that is actually not bad. Anyway, we're going to let this guy run over here, obviously, do his thing. And there's nothing to do on our fields right now. And they are, at least there wasn't last time I checked. We'll double check again. They're still growing and still fertilized. Nothing to do. As far as the price, we don't expect the price to be at the max until next month. Although it's possible that could change. And it's also possible that I'm misreading that entirely. But as of right now, sorghum is not expected to be at its maximum until January. And if that line right there that we're seeing midway through, I don't know if I can move the mouse right here, if that is the price relative to what it can be, then we're actually quite a bit lower than it should be for December. The oat, if this is again the price, then we're at the bottom end of December. So hopefully it goes up throughout the course of the day and we'll see a good price increase in January. That is my hope, that at least, but we'll see. Other than that, in fact, if we go back to current prices, I mean, 687 is a pretty good price. 671 at farmers market's not bad. Hopefully we get some good prices come next month. Other than that, we're about to get snow here, and I think about 15 minutes if the calendar is right here. This thing right here tells us right. It says it's going to snow around the 10 o'clock hour. So we might be able to see our very first snow here very, very soon. But let's find out. We're going to fast forward a little bit because I am kind of curious. Let's at least get to the 10 o'clock hour and see if the snow pops out and see what it looks like. First time seeing snow on that period, because we didn't have snow in FS19, or at least not without any mods that I know of. So will be good to see this here in just a minute. Oh, here it comes. Yeah, it's coming down. There's the flakes. How long does it take to actually register that it is on the ground? I wonder. That's actually pretty cool, though. I like it. That's so cool. Looks like it's going to snow basically the entire day, which makes sense because we're only 1 day per month. So, of course, we're going to get a lot of snow on this day. We're seeing it accumulate on the ground yet? Don't see anything, and nothing that I can notice. I'm not sure what it would look like when it is accumulated on the ground. I mean, okay, that was a dumb thing to say. I know what it looks like when it's accumulated on the ground, obviously. I just don't know what it would look like in transition, I guess is what I meant. Like, as it's accumulating, is there a slow buildup, or is it just instantly going to be, oh, there is a foot of snow on the ground, or whatever, a few inches of snow on the ground? I think it's coming down a little bit faster now, isn't it? Feels like it is. The temperature, I don't know why why is it in Celsius still? I'm pretty sure I had that set to Fahrenheit. I do. I want to put it back to Celsius. And then go check that. Okay, and let's see if I go back to Fahrenheit now. There it goes. I guess it just hadn't registered. Weird. All right, so because I don't know what Celsius is. I mean, I know 0 degrees Celsius is about 32 degrees Fahrenheit, because that's the freezing point. But I'm used to Fahrenheit. So 36. I mean, 36 is not cold enough for it to stick to the ground. So, well, okay, let me rephrase that. Right after a warm day, 36 degrees is not cold enough for it to stick to the ground usually, because the ground itself is still going to be pretty warm. I'm sure if you're after a cold day, 36 degrees is plenty cold enough for it to stick to the ground, because the ground itself is likely colder. So that was maybe not a complete sentence is what I just said. But especially if it's going to warm up throughout the day, we might not get sticky snow until, actually, we might not get sticky snow at all. Because it doesn't look like there's any snow in January, at least not currently projected. And January's going to be a little bit warmer. So, yeah, we might not get anything. That's interesting. All right, well, fair enough. We don't. No big deal. Would have been kind of cool to see, but I'm not going to stress it. And maybe it's just a yearly thing. Maybe next year it'll be even colder. That would be kind of a cool deal. So we'll see as that comes up later. Other than that, yeah, we're just kind of zipping through the day. There's really nothing for us to do. Actually, I haven't checked contracts a little bit. There wasn't any good contracts. A bunch of cultivating contracts. I don't want to pick up any of those. The only one that might be worth doing as far as the size of the equipment is this one right here. But once I rented the equipment and then did the contract, I'd only be making like $400 or $500. In my opinion, not worth it at all. This was $67.96. Still using a. Oh, I was looking at the wrong one. I'm still using a kind of a relatively small plow. So we don't want to take that one either. So right now we're just kind of just chilling. Not much to do. Let our other contract run its way out. I'm going to go ahead and speed up to speed 60 for right now. If there's nothing to do, then there's no reason for us to be sitting here twiddling our thumbs a bit. I'm hoping something comes up here soon, but for right now, we'll just let time run by, and I'll check here in a second. Check every hour or so, see if there's a new contract in here. Not currently, and there may not be anything good that comes up, because we're in January, we're December, sorry, we're about to be in January, so we're in the winter. So a lot of the harvesting stuff like that is probably not going to be coming up. So, but anyway, I might actually put another pause in here. I just wanted to let you guys see the first of the snow in case you hadn't gotten to see it yet. Although again, not sticking to the ground. If it does change for some reason and does start sticking to the ground, I will let you see that. But I think I'm going to put a quick pause in the video again. I'll skip ahead to, I guess, January, when we can actually sell our crop, and we'll go from there. Or if a contract comes up. But we'll be back in a bit. All right, we are back. It is January. No snow on the horizon that I can see. Nothing on the entire day, actually. So it's going to be a relatively, I say, warm January. I mean, 38 degrees or things like that, up to 40, something of that nature. Like 42 will be the high. It's nothing crazy with the snow side of things, but that's okay. But it is January. it is the month that we are planning on hopefully selling our crops, assuming we get some good prices for them. Now, if that line that I'm seeing that does seem to be changing is the current price, then for example, sorghum is a very low price right now. So we're gonna have to see if hopefully that goes up throughout the day. This is the oats, and it's not quite up to the maximum either, although Goldcrest Valley is going up. So we may just wait and see if Goldcrest Valley will go up high enough. We'll keep an eye on that. If Goldcrest Valley stops going up or Feed and Grain South starts going down, we may take that as a sign to go ahead and just sell off. As far as this one, it's possible Johnson's Farmers Market or Grain Mill will go up high enough to be at least worth something. But for right now, it's actually not a very good price. So I wanted to see what happened in January because it tells us that is the kind of the price fluctuation. But we did see higher prices for, I think, both of these throughout the year so far. So kind of an interesting thing to take note of. But yeah, that is that. Other than that, I did not get any contracts throughout the rest of December. Nothing. It was just the same cultivating and plowing contracts. Nothing else came up. So we didn't make any extra money, unfortunately. There's a whole day of having to pay off the loan and all that kind of stuff with no extra money coming in. It's quite a bit unfortunate, actually. That being said, I do believe we'll have quite a few contracts, starting here in, February, March, stuff like that, as some of the crops start to become harvestable. And hopefully that'll get us a chance to get some money back that we missed in December. I mean, at least we've got that one plowing contract. It's actually halfway done, so it'll give us a bit of money, but I was hoping for something else in December, but it is what it is. So yeah, I mean, we're just going to kind of keep, at this point, keep the speed going a little bit fast, but just kind of keep an eye on these prices. I'm hoping Goldcrest Valley goes above Feed and Grain South. But we'll see. We'll see if that keeps going. My suspicion is that the oat will be the first thing we sell, so I'm probably going to go ahead and get that loaded up. Let's grab our tractor over here, get that loaded up, get it ready to roll. And if we have to change, we can always change. But I think that'll be the first one we sell. So let's grab this. Oh, I could have sworn I dropped the weight. I was like, what did I just drop? There we go. Let's go grab this from our silo here. Cover. Start filling. We want to fill up with our oat. Which, I mean, it's not going to be worth a lot because it's not a lot of oat. Obviously, these are from the fields when we first showed up that were not fertilized or weeded or any of that kind of stuff. So really, really bad yield off of this crop compared to what we would like to see. But it's all right. We'll get things going. I just realized we probably could have been mowing some grass and made a little bit of money off of that. There's a decent amount of grass around the outer edges here. But, of course, then we'd have to get a mower. So, it's actually 28 degrees right now. I didn't realize it was that cold right this second. Where's the prices? I went the wrong way. Oh, I keep just going past it. I was looking at the wrong thing. So yeah, so 637 at Goldcrest Valley. Hopefully that keeps going up. Only 436 at Johnson's market. So we'll just keep an eye on things. I'm going to speed up to probably about speed 30, maybe, just to get this going a little bit faster. I do also want to keep an eye on the contracts to see if anything comes up. I don't think there's much that can be harvested today, this month, right? We're in January. No, there's nothing that can be harvested, nothing that can be planted. So yeah, we're expecting probably a whole lot of nothing anyway. It's possible maybe a grass one could come up. That's about the only thing I see that would potentially show up. Come February, looks like we could start planting cotton, which I don't know that I would take that contract if it came up. Actually, none of the harvesting comes up until June, again, except for grass. But some of the planting, I don't even know if I want to do any of the planting, come to think of it. I think the planting is just not worth it as a contract. It's just really just not a good contract. So yeah, we're not going to be doing any good harvesting contracts until June. We might get some plowing ones. If it's big enough, we'll do that. And then again, of course, we could do the baling. I think that's year round. So hopefully we get a good baling contract coming up again soon-ish. What am I looking for? I'm looking for this. Yeah. 441, 638. I mean, anything above 719 would be good. Anything above about 515, probably 513, whatever it is. Whatever. If it passes Goldcrest Valley, we're in a good spot on that one. We'll just watch it until it stops going up again. And then once it stops going up, I'll slow down time and we'll get it sold off real quick. And that will be the plan. How's our plow person going? Getting it done. I mean, they're making some progress. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to remove you, my friend. Sorry. This lined up better. Did not mean to stop you from your job. I think it's just about a foot or so off, maybe. A couple feet, actually, I think. It's not perfect. I'm not that worried about it. Yeah, it's pretty close. I might be right on the money. I got lucky there. 447. Man, that Skullcrest Valley is falling on the sorghum right now. Skullcrest Valley over here is going up. I mean, we're getting close to that $700 mark. Still no good contracts, though. I mean, I don't want any of these plowing contracts. I mean, I could use my own equipment, but it's still just not worth it at the end of the day. It's just the only reason it's worth it for the big ones, again, because of that bigger plow. At least in my opinion. And based on what I've looked at. 449, we're getting up there. We're actually going to pass Skullcrest Valley here. We're not too much longer, it looks like. This one over here, it's got a little bit more to get before it passes Feed and Grain South. If I start seeing Feed and Grain South start dropping, I might zip over there real quick for that one as well. Just whichever one happens first. And I was really hoping we get something to do right this second. Just a whole lot of nothing. Surprised some of those plowing contracts have stuck around as long as they have. But I guess if they can't plant, they're just gonna sit there with the plowing thing up, and there's nothing else for them to do. You know, so might as well have it up. I mean, we'd get a couple bales of hay off of this grass that's around our farm, our stuff. There's a little bit over here, a little bit over on each side of these fields, and there's some around that other field over there. It might be worth it to do an investment. We've already got the baler. We've already got the trailer. We just need the mower. So definitely something to think about. 645. 453. We're getting there. Still kind of taking its sweet time, though. Maybe I should bump it up to 60 speed. Give it a chance to keep popping up. Hoping that I didn't want to just sit here. I was hoping to show something. I thought it was going to pop up quicker than that, to be honest. I was like, maybe come January, it'll just do something that'll jump up quite a bit faster. But what it looks like to me, and I don't know, the fluctuation, if I was looking at these screens right here, the fluctuation looks like it would in FS19. Just standard fluctuation throughout the year, whatever. I mean, I don't know if I completely understand this. Because it's, yeah, I don't know if I fully understand it. I don't know what it's referring to. Is each one of these different? Oh, sorry, I keep hitting the wrong button. Is this, okay, so if I go current prices, if I go here, is that any different than if I were to go here? No, right? It's the same, right? I think it's, yeah, it's all the same. So I just thought maybe I was just looking at it wrong and I just had the wrong thing selected. But no, these are all is what it is. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever, no big deal. We'll just keep on keeping on and we'll get into that in a minute. Still no good contracts. All right, I guess I'll come back when it's time to sell. I thought it was going to be faster than that. So I'll be back. I don't want you guys, I've already had you guys sitting here waiting too long. We'll be back. Hopefully we can sell just before the end of this episode. All right, we are at the end of the day, but we did finally get Skullcrest Valley for the oat to cap out. It's at 753, which is, I think, higher than what Feed and Grain South was at one point in time. So we're going to get over there, sell this off. Plus, I get to show you guys how to do the train in case you don't know how to do that. It's not like it's that hard, but it is something a little bit different than we have run the train in the past. So we'll get over here, drop this off. Unfortunately, the sorghum never made it back up to that 500 mark. So bit of a miss there. I could hold on to it a little bit longer. It looks like it doesn't drop very much if it does drop in February. So it's possible I could hold on to it through February to see if it goes back up again. And then potentially, you know, in March, it may start dropping again. So we may hold on to it a little bit longer, see if we can get back above that 500 mark and go from there. Where am I going? Let me to make a double check to make sure I'm going the right spot. I want to go to the next road. Okay. It's the one past the store. That's right. That's right. But at least we got the oat to sell at a decent price. What little bit of oat we have. It's not going to be much. It's going to pay for the loan for today, I guess, between the oat and the, well, I was going to say between the oat and the sorghum, but we may not be selling the sorghum today. But the oat will pay for some of the loan. We didn't get any other contracts. Still unfortunate. Still a bit of a, kind of, you know, bit sad, but, you know, what you going to do? This one, yes. So you have this silo up here that you can see all these big old giant silos. You can put your grain in there and store it, just to store and come back and pick it up later if you don't want to build your own silo. Or alternatively, that is also where you can drop it off to put into the train. So we're going to come over here, drop it off into the silo. Just a tiny bit, so it's not much. Barely worth the price of the train, although the train's only like $50 for what little we're going to use it. So not a big deal, but yeah, would have been nice to have more. But again, this is just the crop from that first non maximized field. And then we'll come over here. And it's this little box here. Little exclamation mark. You come over here and it says rent train for $1,000 per hour, which obviously we're not going to be using it for a full hour. It is currently 3.9 kilometers away. Is it going away from us? It's going to arrive soon. Is it going to turn around? Come back. Come back, train. Come back. Yep, here it comes. So you have the main train that goes through the entire map, right? There's one that goes all the way through the map. That one goes on this track. But the train that we're getting will be coming backwards, coming reverse on this track towards us. So we'll see that here in just a minute. Well, a couple minutes, I guess, because it's at 3.4 kilometers. Slowly but surely making its way backwards. And it'll back up to, well, the engine will be right about here. And then we can back it up to wherever we want to, you know, get our grain from. So, which we will be doing. Barely going to be worth it, but it will be worth it. Yeah, 753 is a pretty good price. I wish we had a whole lot more. Once we start selling our wheat, should be decent. I mean, the wheat doesn't sell for very much either, to be fair. This maximum was supposed to be in January as well, and it's pretty low price, but I'm pretty sure we get more wheat than oats, so I think that's why it's a little bit less. 2.1 kilometers. I'm actually not sure if it's the exact same train. I haven't actually noticed if there is another train that goes back and forth, or if it's just, I think it is the exact same train. I think it's just one train that once it goes off map, you know, it'll either run it back around and come back on the other side of the map, or like in this case, we're reversing it, so it'll come back here. But I think it's just one train. Let's just put it through. I haven't seen two trains yet, but of course I haven't been sitting here with this train for very long. Come on, train. 1.2. I think I hear it very subtly. Might just be wishful thinking. It's just going to materialize, or we're going to actually see it kind of coming in from the distance. I would think 500 meters I'd be able to see it by now. There, here it comes. I see it. Yeah, it's just coming back. There we go. We'll just get on it right over here. Rented by my farm. We'll back her up just a smidge. There we go. And start filling with the oat. That was it. It fills up super fast. And then we'll get you off here and go ahead and sell our product. 2,400. Oh, we had to pay 61 for the vehicle that time. Not a lot. I mean, it's something. We were. What else we're gonna do with it? It's not like we're just gonna throw it away. So we got something for our troubles. But it's all good. We will. Definitely feels like it's harder to make money with the seasons because we're having to wait so long to get the cycles on our fields going. But that's where the contracts are coming in, and then once we start doing production change, I think it'll make a bigger difference because presumably the production change, if I fill it up with, I don't know, arbitrary number, 10,000 liters of whatever wheat in the flour mill or whatever, well then I don't think it's going to consume all 10,000 liters in one day. Maybe it will. I mean, whatever the speed is, let's say it's 1,000 liters per day. Well then that might be 10 days worth of stuff, and that's just an arbitrary number. Maybe it's 10,000 liters per day, and we can fill it with 100,000. I don't know. Whatever value you want to put in there, if we keep it filled up and it's just constantly producing, then in theory, that would be constant money throughout the year. Because I'm assuming, why would the production facilities not be able to run year round, as long as you've got a big enough stockpile of product going into them? So something to think about. That might make the seasons go a little bit more smoothly. And it's possible I should have just bought one at the very beginning, and that might be a really good idea. I could have skipped out on the silo over here and just gone straight to the grain facility and started producing some flour to be able to sell for more. In fact, let me check something real quick. How much? I'm going to pull off the road, I guess. I should be nice to my neighbors. How much does the flour sell for right now? If I were to sell flour today instead of wheat, for example. Wrong button. Let's see. Right now, wheat is best at what, 443? And if I were to sell wheat flour, which I guess it's all flour is the same, that's not as much more as I thought it would be. 581. Now, I wonder what the ratio is. Can we see the ratio? If I were to just look at this, will it tell us the ratio? I don't know if it does. I don't think it does. I'll go to production and factories. There's the bakery. Where's the flour? Green mill. It does not tell us the ratio. So I'm sure I could look it up somewhere, but I don't know. And I guess we could have done oats as well, to be fair. So truth be told, we could do any of the grains, wheat, barley, oat, and sorghum. I guess whichever one maybe is selling the least, or however you want to do it, or whatever you feel like planting. But that might be an interesting thing to do as well. Because we did, how much did we pay for this silo that I could technically get by without? I like having it. Don't get me wrong. It's really nice. We spent this 117, didn't we? Yeah. So maybe I should just sell this and buy and just, put my grain somewhere else. One of those other silos that are nearby and just or actually, do I even need a silo if I have a grain mill here that I could just fill up to get the flour out? It's an idea. Do something like that just to get us something going that I can fill up and then have something going year round that hopefully is going to give us a bit more money. Again, I was hoping the wheat or the flour would be a bit more than it is. What's the price fluctuation here? January is the top for flour as well, which I guess that makes sense. It really comes down to what the the ratio is. And maybe it's worth holding onto the sorghum if I were to do that. You know what? Let's do that. Why not? I got nothing else to do. We're into January. I'm already 30 minutes into this video, but I kind of want to see this. We're going to see this. And this time I'm not going to restart the game just because I bought something. Oh, I forgot this is the one I can't back up because I'm not good at backing these up, if it's even possible. I'm sure it is, but not my thing. So we're going to turn you around. And I'm going to... Since the sorghum is at a bad price right now, we're going to fill you up from the sorghum. I'm going to clear you out of here, so hopefully I can just sell that without any issues. I don't know if I sell it for full price or not. We'll see. Wrong button. I'll go to construction, demolish, and remove. Is it going to tell me the price? Yeah. That is not good enough, is it? I mean, but is it really helping us? Is there any reason to keep this here? Eventually I'm going to want one, of course. But if I could just store my grain in the flour mill or whatever, the mill, then is there any point in keeping this? And this would be 50, 80, 92 would be enough to buy the flour mill, wouldn't it? I think the flour mill is like 80 something. Why can I not? There we go. Flour mill, factory. Oh, wow. Some of these are real cheap. Bakery's only 50. Carpentry's 60. Dairy's 70. Grain mill is 96. Of course it's more. Of course it is. And we can't get any more loans right now. There's the oil mill, which if we had canola, would be nice. I can't believe the mill is that much more expensive. Wait, is there two back? Did I just... Oh, there's more than one in there. There is a bakery. Looks like a little brick building, and there's a bakery. Oh, okay, that's a cool bakery, actually. I cannot believe this is more expensive. 96,000. Yeah, we're not going to be able to do that. Well, unless I sold something else. Like I sold one of my other buildings or something, which I'm not too partial to, quite frankly. But 96. Tell you what, I'll think about this between episodes, and then I'll come back next episode. We'll decide for sure. Again, the sorghum's probably not going anywhere, so we'll sit on the sorghum, and then we'll decide between episodes if there's a way for me to do this, or if I can do some more contracts and make that something that we can do pretty quickly here. But I do appreciate you guys watching. May God bless you, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you, and goodbye.